Welcome to Pilot Season, the program that looks at the first episode of television programs. Every week, our panel of experts reviews both comedy and drama shows. If you're a fan of classic comedies such as Gilligan's Island, Married with Children, and The Honeymooners, or newer classics such as Lost, The Sopranos, The X-Files, and Breaking Bad, this is the place. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, this program is simulcasted on both Facebook and YouTube, which allows the viewers to be a part of the fun. And now, here are your hosts of Pilot Season. Hello, and welcome to an all-new episode of Pilot Season. I am your pilot, Kinte, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I am so happy to be here on this beautiful Tuesday. I am joined by my wonderful and great team. I can't even talk today. You know what? My great team. I need to really record the intro because I think I stumbled over. So
yeah, you did. You did. I thought the other week I was like, he didn't do that.
I didn't even pay attention. I did it really quick before the show started. So
obviously I was so into the music. So like, I have
to so I will do.
I wasn't going to say anything, Kinte. I got you back, brother. I was going to let you. I was going to let it alone. Not going to say nothing.
Yeah. Now, normally we do 2 episodes a day, a night, but we are going to move to. Today we're just doing The Office. Next week we're going to 1 episode a week. So, and. Sorry, I'm getting a text at the same time. How dare somebody text me? So tonight is The Office. Sorry, and the American version of The Office.
Yes, you have to be specific because it's very different.
Yes.
Right. And we have a Virgin Alert. I need to get a siren. Like, I'm the Virgin this week.
Oh.
Because I've never seen The Office until a week ago or whenever I saw the pilot. Now, I did something I didn't tell you guys to do, is I actually watched the UK pilot first. Then I watched, because I wanted to see where it was the same, where's the different and stuff. And so let's give a little background, if you will. The Office is a series that I don't have none of my stuff up. I'm sorry. I'm terrible today. Started in 2008. It stars the guy Steve Carell, Rainn Wilson, John Krasinski, Jenna Fischer, and BJ Novak, and others. The show was the BBC show, which ran from 2001 to 2003. Was created by Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, and it was adapted by Greg Daniels. All right, so that is the background of the show. Now I'm going to lean on you guys a little bit more because you guys know the show a lot more. But I'll say this: the pilot was co-written by Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais, as well as the series showrunner Greg Daniels. And by watching the pilot of the UK series, it's essentially the same show. It's about downsizing is the theme. Some of the jokes are there. One of the best jokes, a joke I really liked, was the one where the Jenna Fischer's character Pam. See, I'm gonna have to look because I don't know the characters. Pam, who I believe is a secretary, right?
Yeah, she's a receptionist.
Yeah.
Receptionist, sorry. My bad, receptionist. She tried to give the Michael Scott. Yeah. Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Right. See, I know there's like office fans are like, this guy don't even know the show. Like I was supposed to do it last week. It's been a week since I saw it, so please forgive me, all the Office fans out there who's probably making fun of me because I don't know the characters' names like as well. Okay, so the Michael Scott character played by Steve Carell was trying to give her a fax, and he makes this joke about this goes in. There you go ahead.
It goes in the executive file.
Executive file, all right.
File 13.
Which is the trash can, right? That joke is essentially the same joke that the Ricky Gervais character, who's David Brent in that episode. I mean that show. He did essentially the same thing, and and it turned out the fax was very important to the meeting. So before we get into the actual show, let me ask a question. Everybody can raise their hand to answer it. And Olaf, you could just say, has anyone ever worked in a office?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just me and Renee. Okay, so the funny thing about working in an office is you have to deal with a lot of personalities. Some people are salt of the earth, wonderful people. A lot of people tend not to be. You have to deal with people invading your personal space if that's an issue for you. You got to deal with people taking stuff off your desk. When
I didn't have those issues.
Okay. It happens. Even though you wrote your name on the food you put in the in the refrigerator in the cafeteria or whatever, the break room,
it still disappears. You
want to like put up a hidden camera to try to catch that joker, but
you do.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, of course now it's like I only had there was only. It's like, of course, I was the boss, and I had an office manager.
Well, that's different, yeah.
I had an office manager, and then it's like there was just the two of us in the office, so never really had much of a problem. And the guys, it's like the guys out in the shop, they'd put stuff in the fridge every once in a while, but not very often. So I didn't have them kind of issues, but I guess it does make a little difference when you're the boss.
I mean, I can go on and on about my favorite office situation is the two people that are screwing each other and they think no one else knows.
Yeah.
And they think, okay, this is the funny thing about those people. They think, okay, they go on lunch break to get it on, right? And then what they do is they think they're so smart. Okay, I'm gonna take the stairs, you take the elevator, so they won't know that we were together.
And wait like 10 minutes and then come back.
Bro, everybody knows.
They know. They done. Like, yep, there they are. They're at it again. There we go.
Yeah, that's my favorite. So one thing I like about this show, and there was a great movie called Office Space as well, with a lot of that going on, is it seems to, from watching the pilot, that that it covers a lot of those different things. So let's get into the characters. So I'm gonna really kind of give my thoughts on the characters, being that I'm a virgin. I've never been touched by the office. Well, until recently.
Kinte, you forgot to introduce us.
Oh shit! Y'all, I am so
excited.
I'm off today. I am so off today. Y'all are either watching this or listening to it at home. Please forgive me.
This is Comedy Central. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. So let's start off, and I'm trying to rhyme everybody's name. All right, we got Renee, who is every time around her is a beautiful day.
All right.
All right. And then we have Tori, who gets all the glory.
Oh yeah, all the glory. Yep.
And then we got Olaf, who never takes a day off.
All right.
There you go.
Better.
All right.
And of course,
Kinte
is
has
mucho
a lot
caliente.
to say.
I was gonna say Kinte is mucho caliente.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so all right, my bad for not introducing you guys.
We'll let you slide.
I
All
just
right,
I just picking on you.
yeah.
Thanks, Olaf. We would have never noticed. We like we would have went through the whole show not
They're
being
like, who are
introduced.
these? Who are these people?
Oh, I guess her name is Tori. Is that how you say
Yeah, Rush Tory.
it?
All right, so let's start off with Michael Scott. Renee, you get the first dibs. Give me
Okay.
your impressions on. Oh, and by the way, everybody, I'm the only virgin, right? Everybody else have seen the show.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So Renee, what's your thoughts on Michael Scott?
I know Michael Scott in person, like personally. I've worked with a Michael Scott, so he's the boss who does nothing yet. Bothers everyone and still finds nothing to do, but makes it something. So to me, I like the humor in the show. It's silly, goofy, but it's funny, and I think every character I probably have worked with at least 4 or 5 times.
Let me ask you this question, Renee.
Hmm.
If let's say you started working for a company in the office, and uh, the boss says, think of me as a kind of a Michael Scott. Would that make you feel stronger about your coming work experience that's about to happen?
No.
Be like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be interesting. That's a good question. I would know how to. Could probably get away with whatever I wanted to. No, if he worked like Michael Scott, yeah, I may have fun with it, but I don't know. That's a good question.
All right, so Tori, what's your thoughts about the Michael Scott character?
I love Michael Scott. Like he is so funny, and it's if you've seen Steve Carell in movies, like his sense of
Yeah.
humor isn't the same. Like
Right.
it's different. So like to see him in a character like this, I think it was like second skin to him. Like he really embraced it. I think he did a
Yeah.
great job impersonating a guy that does nothing and is everybody's business. And yeah, all that stuff. That was definitely him.
All right, all right. What about you, Olaf? What is your thoughts about Michael
Well,
Scott?
yeah, he's funny, but he thinks he's funnier than he actually is,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it's like some of his humor is like you gotta go, huh?
Yeah.
But and like I said, one of the bosses, as being his boss that doesn't do anything, but he acts like he knows everything there is about the business and how to handle everything, and he's basically got no clue. So he, it's a wonder he's a wonder
The
he's still
boss.
the boss or the regional manager.
Right. But it makes me think like a lot of, well, not a lot, but some of the companies I work for where the boss acted like Michael Scott, and I'm like, how did they get this job?
But you know what's funny about Michael Scott is he always seems to get his shit done. Like in later episodes,
Eventually.
yeah, like even though like he's a deadline, he might wait to the very last minute, but he will
Right.
make that
Well, he'll get
sale.
it
Like
done. That's
he will
true.
save the day. He saves the day a lot, and you're like,
That is
where
true.
did that come from?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, greetings from Robert. How you
Hey,
doing, Robert?
Robert.
All right. All right. So our next character. Oh wait, let me give my thoughts. Right.
Yeah, what do you
Kinte,
think?
what are your thoughts about Michael Scott?
No. First of all, Steve Carell, fantastic actor, very familiar with his work, other than The Office, and just a goofball, a guy that almost lives not in this world. He has his own world that he
Yeah.
operates in. And I think it was Olaf who said that he thinks that he's funnier than he is,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he thinks that he's a guy that, from what I gather, is not a mean person or has bad intentions. That he actually seems like he cares about the people, But he's
Yeah.
also he wants to achieve as well. That's pretty evident that he wants to become something great, and so he has kind of both of those things working. Did I nail it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
like,
it. Yeah, like
yeah.
with the downsizing part, because it seems like he doesn't want them to know because he knows that's bad,
Right.
Right.
and he'll do whatever he can to protect them from finding out, and
Yeah,
for
and
the
he
good
doesn't
of
want to.
them.
He doesn't want to let anybody down. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
want to like upset anybody or piss
right.
anybody off. Like he's very diplomatic, actually.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
You know,
And he also think, and part of it, he thinks that if they find out that there's going to be downsizing, that
hmm
maybe they'll just be, well, okay, they're gonna downsize, so what the hell? I don't have to do my job anymore.
Right.
And he thinks that it would affect performance, which it possibly could. Yes.
well, Olaf shared with me that when he breaks up with a woman, he doesn't say he's breaking up with her. He says he's downsizing.
You know, it's like funny. It's like you should mention that. It's like I think I'm gonna be
Oh my
downsizing.
gosh.
Yeah, I gotta let a couple of y'all go. All
Yeah,
right.
I got to let a couple of
Couple
them
of
go.
y'all.
That's it.
I
Yeah.
gotta keep my stable fresh.
Yeah, you know, it's probably a good thing that we're doing, we're doing The Office, reviewing The Office, and
Mhm.
with Steve Carell and his, his different movies and everything else, because, you know, you're an Office virgin, and he played the 40-year-old
Oh
version.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm in my 40s, so I'm in my 40s, right? I'm in
Oh
my
my
40s as well,
Yes,
right?
I know. Only me would think of that. So,
god.
All right. So our next character, and I guess I will start with this one, is Jim,
Mhm.
played by the fresh face looking Jim Krasinski. Man, he don't even look like that now.
Yeah.
Who's now he's like a superhero now. Then he was a little boyish looking back then, 2008. So I do know one thing, and I only found out like because it just was in the air. I know that, and they kind of set it up in the pilot that the Jim character and I guess the Jenna Fischer character Pam, they must have like an unrequited thing throughout the series, right? Am I right?
Not at the very beginning
Yeah.
because Pam's with Roy.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
but they kind of have a Niles and Daphne kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Definitely.
flirty, but I
Right.
can't flirt too much because I'm, with somebody else. But yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, but anyway, and then you kind of see that they built on that in the pilot.
Mhm.
They kind of have this thing, where you could tell he likes her. Now, Jim, from what I gather, is he seems like kind of a goofball. I guess damn near I'm gonna say goofball for everybody, pretty much. And he has one of the best gags. And I
He
swear I'm gonna
has the
start.
best. He has the
Yeah,
best
he
gags
does.
ever. Like
Yeah, he does.
him and Dwight.
Yeah, it's funny watching them
Oh my
together.
Yeah, like
so yeah, and which one of the gags that he did was the fun? Which one of the gags he did do you think was funniest? Trying when he's separating himself from Dwight.
oh
Oh,
wait,
the pencils.
oh wait, I gotta share this one. This one, I'm sorry if you're.
Yeah, there's like the
That is
Everything
hilarious.
is Jello.
That is funny.
that's Michael Scott stuff.
That's Michael's. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he
His
did
butt.
put Dwight's stapler in the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Right.
And then like a couple seasons later, Jim is in a different office and he does this to like some other dude. The guy like freaks out
Yeah.
and like, takes a fucking trash can. Like,
Hilarious. Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm just warning you guys, if you're ever around me, I might jelloize something you look at.
It's
So,
not my phone, not my wallet.
and I
Not my
promise,
keys.
Tori, I won't do your katana or definitely I won't do your kids. And Jello.
I don't know. That could
That
be
may
a
be fun
benefit.
for them, though. They
That
may
could be
like
a
that.
yeah.
They might
that.
like it, huh?
Jello and
They might offer.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Well,
but,
gets them out of chores and cleaning the room.
Right.
Okay, I'm jelloed.
yeah. Okay. So all right. So back to Jim. We'll go to you, Olaf. What's your take on Jim?
Uh, he's um he's just kind of like a down to earth guy. Does his job and messes with Dwight as much as possible, just just to unnerve him. And he's got the thing for Pam.
Mhm.
And they you can see it really, and she's got a thing for him, but you can see it in the pilot between the two of them. Their interactions, you can tell that they're eventually going to something's going to happen. But
Right.
I like Jim. I mean, he's just kind of nonchalant, just goes through the day, and when Dwight starts his stuff, he just kind of okay. Yeah, wait till tomorrow. Okay.
All right. What about you, Tori? Jim.
I love Jim. I love his sense of humor. I love how he messes with Dwight. I love his interactions with Michael because he doesn't egg him on, but he doesn't stop him either. So he
Right.
kind of lets him like be a spectacle. Like he just thinks it's funny, and Pam gets that. That's the thing is that
Yeah.
their inside joke. Like this and then talking to the camera, like especially when Jim's like, like is their own like little like language and it really comes apparent in later seasons, but the pilot is a good first start to see that. Yeah.
And what about you, Renee?
Yeah, like Olaf said, I mean, you can tell he just wants to get his work done, just go through the day, get his job done. But I like when he messes with Dwight. Even when he's not really messing with him, he just finds a way to make it seem like he's doing more to Dwight than he really is. And that riles him up. So I enjoy that. And then, of course, Pam loves it. And I'm probably silly like that. Like I would laugh at everything that he does or says. So
Uh, and you would think we have this plan, but our next character is Pam. And Renee, your thoughts on Pam?
You can tell she's there. I mean, it's hard for me, I guess, because I've seen every episode when Michael Scott was there,
Hmm.
probably 18 million times. So, yeah, you can tell she's there. She's the receptionist, but that's not what she wants to be. So, it's just a job for the moment, but
Hmm. And they
she'll
work at a
laugh at
paper
everything.
company, right?
hmm
Yeah.
Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
Dunder Mifflin.
Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
'Cause- All right, Tori. What's your take on?
I like Pam. I think she's very relatable. Um, she does. This is not her forever job, just like it's
hmm
not Jim's forever job either, or so they think. They don't think they're going to be working at this paper
Right.
company most of their lives, but it, they are young and have big aspirations, and she likes to be. She's an artist and likes to
hmm
draw, and that was cool. I can't remember. I don't think it's this episode where Michael Scott goes to her art show and like buys a picture that she drew of the
Oh
office
yeah,
building.
and puts
That
it
was
up.
yeah, that was really sweet of him. But like the interaction that she has with the other office people is like not anything like she has with Jim. Like it's
Yeah.
the Office Olympics and everything is like I don't know. It's so cute to watch this romance grow
hmm
Oh,
from where it starts, a little seedling right now.
oh. All
I
right.
bet he. I bet he doesn't jello her stapler.
Or does
No, they
he?
do something. They do
Exactly.
something. They do something different with it. All right. So, what's your take on Pam?
Oh, I like Pam. I think she makes she does her part well. I think they picked a good person to do the receptionist because, like I said, well, as Tori was saying, if she don't want to be in this job, for the rest
Mhm,
of her life. She wants to, be an illustrator. I think is what it is,
mhm,
or
mhm.
and do children's books or something like that, and or things like that. So she's not looking at this to be a career, and it's one of those things that when Michael Scott comes out and tries to get her on a joke or something like that. He walks away. She just kind of shakes her head like, like, okay, here and then.
Yeah, and she's humoring him.
Right.
Right.
So I mean, it's like I like her character.
Yeah, the one scene that was pretty cold blooded was when he did the joke,
Oh,
like she was getting downsized,
yeah.
and she's all crying and everything and all of that, and then he had to
Yeah.
tell her, oh man, it's like
I would have been so pissed. I would have been
Right.
so mad at him. Like, you really got me. Like, I'm crying.
Right.
Yeah, that whole scene. I mean, that thing is because he told the new guy had only been there like half a day, and
Right.
he's like, going, just go along with it. And these guys sitting there going like shaking. You can see him. He's just sitting there shaking his head like, oh my God, is he really doing this?
Right.
Oh wow, I can't believe he's doing that. And goes through it. It would not surprise me to see about a 10-page report to HR about him from Pam.
Every day
poor
on
Toby.
him. He
Yeah,
would
poor
always have an
Toby.
HR report.
The file is actually like this big. Like, for real.
Best friend Toby.
Yeah.
Right.
That was just so wrong of him to do,
Yes.
and to
Yeah.
carry it as far as he did. That was just way over the top.
All right, so our next character is
Oh, yeah,
Dwight.
Dwight.
D. White. All right, so Rainn Wilson plays this character, fantastic comedic actor, and just from what I gather from watching it, just the kind of guy that would annoy the crap out of you if you had to sit next to him.
Yes.
And you know,
Galactica.
and it's like I think he's from that planet, Michael Scott. He's from that planet that Michael Scott is from.
Right.
You
Oh yeah.
know, like
Number two.
like if aliens came to this planet and they needed a guy to act like they were human, they could make themselves look like human.
It would be Dwight.
Please don't look at Dwight as
No.
the guy.
He's not a role model. He's assistant to the regional manager.
Right.
also.
Right.
And it's like, well, and there's Dwight. His sense of humor is, like a wet blanket. He doesn't really have one.
Yes.
He takes things
Yeah.
way too literally. Like, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's why Jim has so much room.
Yes.
So much free reign with him, because he takes things so seriously.
Yes.
I don't want to ruin the first season, but
I know
so
it's
funny.
hard.
Yeah. They form an
Yeah, but he
alliance.
takes his job so serious.
He
Like,
does. And he is the
everything.
best salesman, and he's very
Yeah,
good
salesman
about
of
that.
the year and whatever decade and all that. Like, I'm supposed to be here at work this time. I won't be late.
Yeah, and
You
like
know, I have
that,
to do everything by the book.
and like that picture there, he taking that yardstick there and knocking the papers back because it's
Because it's
crossing
over
the
on
border.
his side.
crossing the border.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel him on that.
I mean,
I
that
would-
part was a little petty, but
Yeah, I mean,
there are
honestly,
times, yes.
I don't. I'm like, you got a whole disc.
Right.
Have your stuff on your disc, not on my disc and your disc.
right.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
kind of agree with him. I kind of agree with him. On that.
What did you all think about his phone answering practice?
Oh, tossing the phone.
What?
Dwight Schrute.
Right, true.
That's in line with his character. He would, he's trying to be the best at everything, so he has to get it right.
Yeah.
All right,
He's
so
a volunteer sheriff also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
forgot
okay.
about that.
So that's kind of scary.
all right, so in this episode, there's this threat of everybody get downsizing, even though they kind of seem like they don't love their job that much. So, but it's funny though. I've seen that happen where people complain about their job, but then when there's this threat of losing it, then all of a sudden
like,
people,
what do I do to keep it?
right? So,
Yeah.
so that's kind of going on in this episode, and we learn who the characters are and how they kind of relate to each other. I know there's other characters as well that those are the main characters they've kind of focused on in this episode. I know there's much more characters that get deeper into the weeds of who they are and how they relate to it. So like I said, one thing that I found pretty cool was they really did a great job of adapting the British series, because the British series is similar, but it has a different feel to it in a way. It's like the same but different because it has more of a British thing.
Yes, it's a British American thing. That's exactly what it is. It's like because British people just have a different sense of humor than we do. And some of the stuff that we think is hilarious, they're like
they wouldn't,
And that show only lasted 3 years, and because in England they tend to not keep shows on forever, even if it's successful.
Yeah,
they tend to shows have their run and it's over. And I remember there was a joke at one of the Emmy parties or something, or no, I'm sorry, the Golden Globes, where Ricky Gervais made a joke about The Office because he benefited from the American version. He was making, he was executive producer, so he was getting, the reaping the financial rewards from it. But he made a joke about how the British series, we did 3 years. I can't do his voice. We did three seasons, very good, and then we went on with our lives. You guys just on for 12 years. Yeah. He's like, you guys been on for like 12 years, like, and then and I noticed during that time when The Office was doing so well, Ricky Gervais would make a point to say, I was the first guy. And it's based on, it's my stuff right here. I mean, Steve Carell, he's cool and all that, but
it's because of me.
I made him. Made him.
Right, which is pretty funny. So, but let's get into this particular episode a little bit more. Okay, so we've established who the characters are and their relationship kind of to each other. As you guys have seen the show, how do you now rewatching the pilot? How do you feel like this pilot sets up everybody for what the ride that we're going to go on? We'll start off with you, Renee.
I think it set it up, really well. And I think with each episode, it just builds, and you get to see the characters, like really learn who they are. And if you worked in the office, I know I have worked with every person at some job in the office I've worked in, so I can relate to everything that they do, and it kind of reminded me of like Seinfeld, where it's like a show about nothing,
right?
Nothing, but they end up doing stuff. So I can I can completely relate, and when they have the meetings about the meetings. To have a meeting, plan the next meeting. Yeah, I can completely relate. Now, this was one of my favorite shows, and I can still watch it now and crack up the whole episode. Whatever episode I watch.
What about you, Tori? How do you feel like this pilot set up what we're going to be on?
It's great. It's great. You get Dwight and his weirdness. You get the pranks that the common thread, and everybody pranks each other. You get to see Jim and Pam at the very beginning in this little wonderful romance. It's so cute. I love their story. And then like the humor is there. It's dry. It's kind of like some people just don't get it. Like they're just like, why is this so funny? Like, come on.
It's easy.
It really, like, because there's a bunch of shows that came out that had a similar vibe to it, like Parks and Rec, the Community. They were all on NBC. Parks and Rec, Community.
And they were all successful too.
They were all successful. Yeah. So because I couldn't even distinguish them because I didn't watch any of those shows. I think I may have saw the first 6 episodes of Parks and Rec.
I love that show too.
I had a friend who was just like I had a friend, like the person's dead. I know someone who was a huge fan of the show, and they kept trying to get me to watch it, and I enjoyed it. The 6 episodes, but then shiny things come along, and my attention went somewhere else. But I didn't get a chance to watch The Office, and so one last thing, Olaf. How do you feel like this pilot sets everybody up for what comes?
I think it set everybody up perfectly because you see Michael Scott. He's the regional manager and the boss, and you already know he's a prankster and bit of an idiot at times. You see that, and then like with it's like Jim and Dwight, you can see that there's going to be a conflict and a going back and forth at each other. We have more Jim going at Dwight and Dwight just complaining to Michael Scott. He's doing it again,
Michael.
And I gotta apologize. I don't know why I have it. The show started in 2008. It started in 2005. My bad.
Mhm.
So I gotta correct that in the. That's weird. Everywhere else but the title, I have it correct. But
the other part of it too, it's like, and then of course the other thing with Pam and Jim, it's like their thing going on.
Mhm.
The accounting department, them, you can just see him, and it's like, what's the one guy is I can't think of his name.
Oscar or Kevin?
Yeah,
Oscar.
Oscar.
He's just kind of like going, does that mean I don't have a job anymore?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I was like, I don't care. Just tell me, do I need to go find a job or not?
Right.
It's funny. So I think it pretty well set everybody up so that you kind of knew what their characters were going to be like in the rest of the seasons.
Mhm. Now I have a real crummy question to ask you guys,
Okay.
and you guys got to use your knowledge of the show. And it doesn't have to be someone in this pilot, okay? And we're gonna start off with you, Renee.
Okay.
Which one of these characters is are you closest to resembling? Maybe not 100%, but if they were your spirit, one of them would be your spirit animal.
Who would it be?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Wow. Maybe Andy. Just because he's like always, I don't know, he's like real silly. And I think because he's always walking around the office singing, and that would be me. I'm
That's
sure.
Ed Helms, right?
Yeah.
So he
That
comes
would
in
be
the next
me in
season.
the office, but he's like his I don't know. It's interesting watching how, because he's like in competition with Dwight. That part is not me. I'm more Stanley in that I would be rolling my eyes at everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, let me do my crossword or whatever because these people are crazy. So I don't know. I'm kind of a mix of some of them, but I think maybe Andy to start out, maybe.
All right, what about you, Tori? Who's
Pam. I think I would relate best to Pam.
yeah?
She's an artist. I am also an artist. They all consider her cute. People consider me cute. So, and then, you got the sense of humor. I have her sense of humor. So I would find all of this stuff hilarious too. And I would egg it on as much as Jim does. So yeah, I would be all in cahoots. Anything that
I love Tori's humility.
Yeah.
Consider me cute.
So cute.
I'm a actually
It's
find
my ego today.
Yeah. I'm at the clip that people consider me cute. But yeah, people consider me a genius. That's
You got it. You got it.
all right. So Olaf, who would you?
Oh my God.
relate to?
Wow, I don't know. It's like, to me, I think I'd be not just one character. I think I'd be more of a mix of characters. It's like a little bit of Jim, a little bit of Dwight, a little bit of Michael Scott. So it's kind of a mishmash of them because I said I used to work with the police department, so I did, like, I've got the sheriff's thing going on. So I just the characters, like, I just kind of mash them three together. I think would be more like me.
Yeah.
Or I could be more like Pam. You never know.
Hey, why not? Why not?
You're cute too,
Right.
why
Yeah,
not? You know, why why not?
well, I just throwed him all off the path trails, didn't I? So what about
Why?
you, Kinte?
Based on what I've seen, I would say the BJ Novak character, the new guy. We don't even really know what he
Okay.
is. We don't even know I don't know what he is
Ryan,
yet.
that's Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't really want to be Ryan, but
No, not eventually. Towards the end, no.
Okay, but so far, I kind of feel like that's me. Like in the, like everybody's crazy, and I'm walking into this madhouse.
yes.
So and I mean, come on now, you gotta laugh. If someone did that to me in the office, I would laugh
Yeah,
so
I would just
hard.
laugh.
Yeah, it's just
Why get mad about it?
I
Like,
know.
right.
it might
That's
ruin the
Because he was,
stapler, but whatever.
because he
I
was
want to pay for
damaging
it.
company property. He was damaging company property. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
but it's so funny.
Dwight would say that, yes.
That's what he did say. Damaging
Right.
company property.
Now
Yeah.
I would be like the Michael Scott part where he looks out for everybody's feelings. Like he doesn't want anybody to be upset. Or if I found out about downsizing, I'm like, how can I don't want to break this to the office. What can I do to, just
But see, that's the thing is Michael Scott can't do that.
right.
But Dwight can.
Dwight can.
So
That's
like
true.
he sends Dwight to do his bidding a lot.
That's true.
you know?
That is true. Dwight
You gotta
doesn't
have a
ever be
Dwight.
the bad guy.
Dwight
You
is
kind
the bad
of
guy.
have to have a Dwight though, in a way.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's
Make it
annoying,
work.
but he's effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna look out for Michael Scott too. He always
Yeah.
looks out for him. So.
Oh my God, that's his homie. That's his homie.
Even if he doesn't say it, he still is.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So before we say goodbye, we'll start off with you, Renee. Are there any lasting things you want to say about this show?
I love this show. I love this show up until Michael Scott left. When I watched a few episodes after, but it just wasn't the same to me. Like the humor wasn't the same. I just couldn't get into it. So I'll always watch the older shows over
Oh,
and
so,
over.
so you weren't an Office fan. You was a Michael Scott fan.
Oh, maybe.
Because see, I'm a Laker fan, and then when Shaq left, I was still a Laker
You're
fan.
still like a fan. Well, maybe you got me there.
You know what's funny though? The X-Files. David Duchovny left the show the last couple of seasons, and it actually was pretty good even without him. Which I would have never thought. So every once in a while, it can work.
Yeah.
It can work, but not in this case though. Not in this case. It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Like what was that show? Law and Order SVU. The main guy Stabler left, and it stayed pretty. Did pretty well. I think he was on there for like 12 seasons before he left.
Yeah.
He was on there for like ever.
And I remember a friend of mine was saying, "Why do you have to leave the show? He's this," and that's like he gave you 12 seasons. Is that not enough? Is that not enough? What are you 120? And then the show's been on over 20 still.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like 12 seasons is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So, but yeah. What about you, Tori? Any lasting things about
Okay, so if you really want to get into The Office, you really have to watch the first season. It kind of sets the pace for the whole show. And I watched the show even past Michael Scott. It wasn't as good, I will admit, but there were still some really funny moments. And you have to really understand Dwight because he's coming from a good place, but he's such a weirdo. But you have to like appreciate that in your own way. Like that's I love it though. It's such a great show. You guys definitely need to see it if you haven't already.
Yes.
What about you, Olaf? Any
I like The Office. I mean, I didn't watch every episode religiously and all that, but I saw a lot of the episodes throughout the seasons that they were on. and I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a good, good comedy. It's like it was just a good show, and the characters that the actors that they picked to play the different characters,
Mhm.
they did a good job of putting the right person in the right the right actor into the right uh, character. So I enjoyed it. I was like always liked watching it, and if I needed a good laugh, I'd find an episode of The Office and watch
Mhm.
that. So
Now Craig Robinson, I don't remember. He didn't pop up right in this episode,
No.
but he's on the.
Mm-mm.
He's in the first season, all right, going forward. So, how was his character on the show? Craig
That's
Robinson.
Stanley, right?
He
Or
played Daryl.
Daryl. Oh, in the warehouse?
I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I can't remember when he came on, but you don't see like they go down to the warehouse every once in a while, like at the beginning of the show or the
Mhm.
first season or whatever, and then they eventually incorporate it more often. And then Daryl comes upstairs. He gets one of the jobs upstairs, or the manager, or whatever it is. But yeah. So he's the cool guy in the warehouse. And I think, Michael Scott wants to be his best friend because he's cool and he's trying to be cool like him.
And he's a brother.
Yeah, the cool brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rashida Jones was on there as well.
Yeah, she plays great Kelly. Because Kelly's kind of dipsy
Oh my god.
and talkative and all
Too
of just
talkative.
celebrities. Yes, like she's.
Oh no, that's
typical,
Mindy Kaling played Kelly.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay, yeah. Oh no, she played
Rashida Jones
she
played
played
Karen.
when Jim went to the
yeah.
other office and then she came.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
pretty. I like her.
Yeah.
You know her father is Quincy Jones,
Mhm.
and her mother is Peggy Lipton.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Peggy Lipton from the Mod Squad and Twin Peaks. We just saw her in the Twin Peaks,
Oh, that's
and
right. Yeah.
and heirs of the Lipton fortune.
Wow.
Oh.
So, and then we know who Quincy Jones is, a fantastic
Yes.
jazz musician and composer and whatnot. And so she's biracial, and so she was on a Rashida Jones was on a red carpet, and the two Caucasian hosts said, "Oh wow, you did you go to the beach? Just come from off the beach? You look very tan. You look very tan."
Oh no.
And then she looks at him and she goes, "Well, it's because I'm urban." No, it's not a beach tan. This is my actual
This is natural
tan. So, and then
That's funny.
Rashida Jones's sister, I can't think of her name right now, was Tupac's fiance, I believe, when he died. That he was
really?
with her. He was with her the night he died. So,
Mm.
so that little factual thing that I threw in there. Okay, see, y'all think y'all have all the info. I got the info too over here. All right, and James Spader was on the show too.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
And also, I'm going through the list. Also, oh yeah, Idris Elba was on for 7 episodes. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Of
He
course.
was. Yes.
Yeah. So, shout out to my homeboy Idris Elba. He don't know me, but we're homies though. We're homies. You know.
Yes.
So, but so with all that said, I want to thank you guys. It's funny that somebody that usually is on our show posted that Tuesdays suck for them, and I was just talking to Olaf before the show that I was thinking about moving the show to Wednesdays because Tuesdays is kind of a weird day. Even though I grin and bear it, I wanted to move the show to Wednesday and just do one show a week. Now I think we did quite a bit of shows, so I think it's
that would work better for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Wednesday's
So
cool.
so next week on Wednesday we'll be doing the show Sopranos.
All right.
And then after that we have Sanford and Son coming up, which I'm excited. I love that show so much, Sanford and Son. I'm not a virgin there. And what was I sent y'all? What was the other?
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Great show.
Yes.
Great show. And we'll have a bunch of other really cool stuff. We're gonna dig in the crate, in honor of Renee. We might have to bring out the Patty Duke show.
Wow.
Even though you're an identical sister, Patty Duke was, their cousins identical. So.
Oh, okay.
You know what though?
I have identical cousins.
If I had an identical cousin,
yeah.
I would. You know what I would say to my cousin? Either your daddy or my daddy need their ass whooped.
Right, something's wrong.
Something ain't right. How did we come out? But yeah. So I definitely want to. I want to go into some of those old shows too. Like we got to do Beverly Hillbillies, and we got to do Green Acres and some of those old shows, and then we got to do the Facts of Life and the Jeffersons and those kind of shows as well, and Different Strokes as well. I mean, there's so many old classic sitcoms, and then of course a lot of great dramas as well. So just keep on the lookout. So like I said, we're gonna switch to Wednesday nights at 5 p.m. and it's gonna be one show on Wednesday nights. And with that said, we're gonna start off with Tori, who gets all the glory. How can we get you in social media, and also how can we get you? What should we be on the lookout for? My bad.
Okay, so on Friday nights, you can always catch me here on pilot season, and then on Thursday nights at 8:30, I co-host a show with our friend Jen called Movie Potluck, where we pick a movie and a movie topic, and then we pair it with food, and it's kind of nice, a dinner and a show type thing. And then on Friday nights is my show, The Infectious Geek. And this Friday, we're interviewing a photographer and video producer, Brett J. Morgan. Yeah, Morgan. And he's a really fun guy. He's got a lot of spirit, and I can't wait to interview him. So, and show off his work. And then anything else to... no, that's it.
And Tori, she don't even let me come on her show no more. She didn't.
Oh my God!
She got big time.
I give you links every week, and you never go on.
No, I be in the chat. I be in the chat room.
Oh yeah, that's true. I
be in the chat room. I be supporting my homie. So, but it's okay.
You can come on this Friday. You can help me interview him. He's a cool guy.
Okay. All right. Renee, who every time you're around her, it's a beautiful day.
Oh, thank you. So I have working on a couple children's books.
I'm sorry, I didn't picture lower there.
No worries. You can find me on Instagram, RDC Art by Design, or my pencil writes, and have the books will hopefully be finished soon.
Now, when you say we can find you on Instagram, do you be like chilling on the Instagram streets?
Yep. And then I just pop up, hey, and then I go right back away.
That's what's up. I love it. Olaf, who never takes a day off. Why did I never? When I tried to do the rhyme thing, I just rhyme off? I always try to rhyme. I try to get the Olaf. I'm a terrible rhymer, man. All right.
Well, you can follow me on Facebook at Olaf Barbosa. But as I always say, don't follow too close because I get nervous and I do have an itchy trigger finger. Yeah.
Yay.
Where can we find you at?
All right. I be in them Instagram streets, just like Renee. We moving that Instagram weight. You can get me on Instagram at Kinte Ferguson. Of course, also you can get me on Twitter at Kinte F, and the website is theindieradio.com, theindieradio.com. And let me say this before we say goodbye. I do another show on Mondays called Men and Women Talk, the Mars Venus Show.
Yeah.
And this season has been amazing, just great content. We started out talking about the Chris Rock slap thing. We did a random topic episode, and we did Black Nerds a couple of weeks ago. That was a great episode. And then last night we had the two podcasters on, Bree and Alan from He Said What Network, and they were awesome. It was a great show. And next week we're gonna do Mars Venus Reacts. So we're gonna be reacting to interesting content that's on the internet. And so I don't want to say what it is because, to be honest with you, I haven't pulled it out yet. But I have some ideas of what I want to show, and then I want to get people's reactions of what other people are doing on the internet, men and women. And some might say it's toxic, some may say it's great. And then in 2 weeks on that show, we're gonna be having a poetry night, and Renee has already agreed to come on and do some poetry. I don't know if you guys do poetry. You guys can come by and do some poetry.
I do have poetry, yes.
Okay, then you can.
All right.
Oh, man, we're gonna have it more so where people come on and then they'll leave just to do their poem. So it won't be like you have to stay on.
Now I do a little poultry every once in a while. But wait, wrong thing. Sorry.
And so we're also and also that'll be this Monday. It'll be our 195th episode.
Wow.
And so we're coming close to our 200th episode. And for that episode, we're gonna I'm trying to get everybody that's ever been on the show to pop on and just hop on. Like I'm trying to have all my co-hosts from the past to come on. And one of my co-hosts I hadn't talked to her in a while. Her name is Tara Lynn. Olaf knows her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I talked to Tara Lynn. I hadn't talked to her in years.
Yeah.
And Tara Lynn said that she's gonna come on and be on that episode, as well as a couple of other ones. So
I think I was on one or two of those episodes.
With Tara Lynn, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been on a lot of Mars Venus, man.
Mm.
So, but yeah, we're just gonna chop it up, have people kind of cycle in and out. So Tori, if you're around again, please hop on, and I'm trying to get as many people who been a part of the show to just come in and I don't even know how it's gonna work out. We'll find out, and it might be a longer show. Maybe I might do that one a little earlier because it may be a long show. I don't know, or it could be after an hour. I'm like, all right, it's enough. So we'll see. But I definitely want to do that one really, really big because that's a milestone.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I think, and one thing I'll say to all you podcasters out there: celebrate every milestone.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to episode 50, celebrate it on your show. Episode 10. It's our 10th episode, y'all. So I try to do that with these shows is celebrate the milestones because they're achievements. They're really they're real achievements to be doing something this long. I would have never thought, 200 episodes in, this is ridiculous. So, but anyway, with that said, you guys have a great rest of your week. God bless you. And remember, Kinte is mucho caliente.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.